Hello and welcome to Maple Flavored Yoga. My name is Andy and this is week 2 of our 7-week chakra journey. We're going to be dealing with the second chakra today, which is also known as the Sacral Chakra or Svadhisthana in Sanskrit. So we're really going to be tapping into that water element, flowing through these poses, and I'm really excited to get started. So to begin, we will close our eyes and come into this moment. Feeling the mat below you, knowing that there's no other place you need to be right now. I would like to send gratitude to the people of South Asia who created and cultivated this beautiful yoga practice that we get to partake in today. So if your eyes were closed, you can blink them open, taking in the room that you're in, or if you're outside, slowing those senses to be utilized to their fullest. So we'll get right into it. We're going to come into a seated cat-cow. So bring our feet out in front of us, hands on our knees, not right on the knees, kind of below or just above, either or. So in an inhale, our legs will drop open and our heart pulls forward. Exhale, glide back, dropping your chin to your chest. Inhale, heart comes forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, heart comes forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Really finding this liquidy type movement. And exhale. One last round. Inhale. Exhale. Your next inhale, we'll come back to seated. And we're going to slowly make our way onto our backs. And grab the backs of your thighs, roll onto your spine. Feet are on the floor. We're going to do some hip circles with our right leg to start. So we're just going to take our hip out to the side and make big knee circles. Here. Really inviting some that juicy, yummy blood into this joint. We'll go the other way. Make this as big or as small that is comfortable for you. And we'll switch sides. Still making sure that your belly button is pulling to your spine and we're not rocking too much from side to side. So as I said, we're going to be dealing with the second chakra. If you're a visual person, you can visualize the color orange, if that helps you. And as I said, we're dealing with the element of water. Right. So from here, we're going to come into a reclined bound angle pose. So our feet are going to come together and our knees are going to drop open. This is it can be really intense for your inner thighs. If this feels really uncomfortable, you can always grab a pillow or some blankets and tuck them up underneath of your thighs or your knees just to give some support. But we're just going to let gravity take hold here. The closer your feet are to your pelvis, the more intense this stretch is going to get. So if you bring your feet in, it gets really, really intense. If you'd like to find something that's a little less intense, it's the only word I can think of right now, just bring your feet a little farther away. So find that nice happy medium of you're feeling it, but it's not too much. It's not creating a fear response in your body. So this chakra is located right below our belly buttons, kind of in our pelvic girdle. And this has to deal with creativity, with pleasure, with joy. People who have a closed or blocked second chakra can sometimes be really shy or guilty or feel shame. So still make sure you're breathing into your belly here. Do one more big breath. And using our hands, we will help bring our legs back to center. Grabbing the backs of our thighs, we'll roll up. If you're feeling a lot of saturation there, we can windshield wiper our legs from side to side, nice and slowly. That can be really intense. So taking your time, taking any intuitive movement, as always, that feels good here. From here we're going to come into fire log pose. So we'll bring our left leg to the floor and our right leg on top. And what we're trying to do is to stack our shins on top of each other, and you'll really feel this in the backs, into your glutes and the backs of your thighs. So still sitting nice and tall spine. If this feels really intense here, you can stay here. If you'd like to increase whatever sensation you're feeling, you can come forward onto your hands. I like to really take my time and inch my way into stuff. I get into a position to take a few minutes or a few breaths. Is this okay? I can move deeper, or I can back out of it as well. Always know that you can always move into and out of a space once you get there. So 3 breaths here. Give that a wiggle if it feels good. Slowly make our way out of this, and we'll come into that on the other side. So I always try to parallel my shins to the front of my mat. Feet are still really active here. If again, as always, anytime you have your knees, if they're really off the floor, make sure you put a blanket or a block or a bolster or pillow, anything, if it feels uncomfortable for that joint to be kind of just hanging in space. So once again, move into these positions, and there's always going to be differences on each side, that's normal. And also drop any expectations of where you think you should be. Just because you can get into a certain shape one day does not mean you're going to do the same thing the next. So just allow that ebb and flow of your body. Do 2 more nice big breaths here. Okay, maybe 1 more because it feels really good. Taking great care to come out of this pose. I always feel that really dig into my glutes and the insertion points of all those big juicy muscles back there. It feels really, really good. From here, we're going to bring our right knee back and our left foot forward. We're gonna come into a low lunge. So ankle stacked over knee. If you're stacking your ankle over your knee, then wow, good for you. So knee over ankle. You can have your back toes tacked here. So we're gonna be kind of moving, gliding from low lunge to a half Hanuman or a half split. Hands are on the floor. If this is feeling uncomfortable, you can grab some books to place under your hands or yoga blocks if you have them. So we're gonna roll our shoulders just a little bit away from our ears so we're not feeling really crunched. So we're going nice and long out of our spine. Chest is forward, so on an inhale we grow. Exhale, we'll glide back, front toes lift. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Doesn't matter how far down you come. Inhale forward. Exhale back. If you're moving your hands back and forth here to support yourself, that's totally okay. You don't have to keep your hands in one spot. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. So we'll do 3 more breaths here at your own pace. Your next inhale forward, we're gonna stay here. So this next little section, you have the option of picking up your back knee, or you can still keep your knee on the floor, whichever feels best for you. If this is feeling really intense, then you don't need to go there, but we're gonna do that same kind of motion, just with our knee lifted. So inhale, grow nice and long. Exhale, we'll glide back, toes are lifting. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward, trying to find that liquidy motion. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And we'll do 3 more here, going at your own pace. And we'll meet back on our inhale. And we'll hold on this inhale. From here, we're going to shorten our stance a little bit, bringing our foot to point to the side of our mat. And we're going to straighten that front leg, and you can bring your hand down to the mat or onto your shin. We're going to come into Trikonasana or triangle pose, inhaling our right arm up. Hold here for 3 breaths. Next exhale, we're going to bring our hands back down. Front or back toes are pointing to the front of the mat once again. We're going to come down into a pigeon pose. So we're just going to slide our left foot behind our right hand, and our knee should come behind our left hand. Foot is still parallel with the front of the mat. We want to try and keep our hip points also pointing to the front of the mat. And then you can kind of just start to slowly slide your right foot back and have your back leg straight. This can be really intense on the outside of our left leg. So if you're feeling that you really have to come into the side like this, you can grab a pillow or blocks, blanket again, just so that our hips are still pointing forward. Use your hands here as much as you need to. Want to try and keep our chest lifted and pointing, also our shoulders pointing towards the front of our mat. 2 more big breaths. That's really good. It might not feel really good all the time. It just feels really good today. So we'll kind of just slink our toes back up, kind of walk our knee forward. We're going to push into our hands, lifting that foot and stepping back into plank. We'll come into downward dog and we'll hold here for 5 breaths. Just have that nice reset. You also have the option to come into child's pose here as well if that feels like your body needs that instead right now. One more big breath. So we'll come back into plank and we're going to step our right foot forward, bring our left knee to the mat, and we're going to do that sequence on the other side. So hands or fingertips to the floor or blocks or books. Chest is nice and lifted. Nice long neck. And then on an exhale, we'll glide back, front toes lift, and bow forward. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. This is one of my favorite inhale forward things to do to get my body nice and warm. Exhale back. Inhale forward, and we'll do 3 more on our own. On the next inhale forward, stay there. So again, you can keep doing that really yummy flow back and forth from your low lunge to your half Hanuman, or you can tuck those toes, press into the floor and lift that knee. It just gives a different sensation and warms up the muscles in a little different way. But the same motion is happening here. So nice and long, bring up the top of our head, exhale back, straighten that front leg. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Our hips are still pointing forward. Exhale back. So if you find that your booty is really sticking out to the side, inhale forward. Try and magnetize your feet together. Exhale back. And keep your left hip point turning into the mat. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward, and we'll do 3 more on our own. So find your own pace here. If you step on your hair, that's totally okay. Exhale back. Hold here on this inhale, dropping our back heel, toes are pointing to the side of our mat. Right leg extends straight. Again, we never want to lock out that joint. We still want to have a micro bend. Right hand comes to the mat. Left arm inhales up. You can look up to your left thumb. 3 breaths here. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Roll onto the ball of your back foot. Right leg lifts, and your right toes are gonna come behind your left hand, and your right knee is gonna come behind your right hand. Coming into pigeon on the other side. So take your time to get there. Our right toes are still really active. Back toes are tucked. Just make sure that your left leg isn't really flung out to the side. You want to try and keep our hip points forward, facing in front of our mat. 3 big juicy breaths in this pigeon pose. Hands are going to come in front, kind of walk our back toes up a little bit. Tuck those toes, push in, coming into a plank. Exhale back into downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And here we'll come down, dropping our knees to the mat. We're gonna come into frog pose. This is a pretty intense hip opener. This is gonna really activate that second chakra. So we're going to bring our knees out to the side. Our ankles are coming straight down on a 90-degree angle. So there's a 90-degree angle at your knee and a 90-degree angle at your feet. Pointing out to the side, our feet are nice and flexed here. That way we're protecting our joints. Again, like most poses, it doesn't matter how far down you're coming into this pose, as long as you're feeling that opening within your inner thighs. So you can stay with your arms straight. If it's available to you, you can come down onto your forearms. Listen to your body as always. And you can kind of, sometimes I'll go where I'll just kind of, I don't want to say pulse, but I'll kind of wave back and forth just to introduce some movement into this part of my body that I don't typically use on a day-to-day, not quite in this way anyway, or feeling this intense. And then once I feel that there's been some nice warm blood, nutrient and oxygen-rich blood introduced to that area, I will hold and just gently push or sit back, I guess would be the better way of saying it. Sitting back like I'm sitting down. And we'll do 3, I'll make it 6. Really get into that breaths here. If your body opens up, you can move into that new space. But that's not the goal. That's just kind of like I think that might happen. It's not good or bad, it's just what's happening. Okay, we're gonna come out of this pose. So bring your hands down to the mat, and I pull my chest through my arms to kind of straighten my legs, and then I bring them in, and we'll come down really slowly into a child's pose. Give that a wiggle. You've got a lot of saturation in your hips. Bring your hands stacked on top of one another. Bring your forehead right down. And again, if you still feel you gotta give yourself a wiggle, then go for it. Slowly make our way back up. We'll have a seat. We'll actually keep our right leg bent so that our foot is kind of by our glute. We'll take our left leg and cross it over, coming into this half Lord of the Fishes. So you can stay here, or you can hug your thigh, twisting to the left. Or if you'd like some more to this, you can inhale your right arm up. Exhale, bring it to the opposite side of your knee, and help that assist you to deepen this twist. You can look over your left shoulder here. 3 nice breaths. Sit bones should still be on the floor. Inhale, release. Do that on the other side. Left leg comes down, kind of by our glute. Right leg comes across onto the floor. So we're either hugging here, or we're inhaling our right arm up. Exhale, twist. Chest is still lifted. We're not really curling here. Nice lifted chest. And if it's okay for your neck, you can look over your right shoulder. Big, deep belly breaths. Last one. Inhale, we can release. Slide down our mat a little bit, grab the backs of our thighs, rolling back onto our spine. We'll give ourselves a great big hug. You can rock back and forth here. Gonna give yourself a little back massage. Always feels good. We've opened up our hips a lot here, so I want to make sure that we're balancing that out. You can come to stillness if that feels good too. Slowly bring our feet down to the floor. We're going to come into our Shavasana, or corpse pose. You can grab a blanket if you'd like to put that on. Or you can put some yoga blocks or a pillow or blankets underneath your knees if that feels good or better for your low back. This feels really icky for your low back. You can always bring your knees together. That usually feels better. So listen to your body as always. Close your eyes here. Allow yourself to drop in. Release any command you had of your breath. Allow it to come naturally once again. Any thoughts that come up, allow them to pass. Simply acknowledge them and let them pass by. When you're ready, you can introduce some movement back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And give yourself a great big stretch like you do in the morning. One at a time, we'll bring our knees back to our chest. And we'll roll to whatever side feels best. Take a moment here. And then slowly, when you're feeling ready, you can make your way back up to seated. Keeping your eyes closed or having a soft gaze. Allow yourself to take inventory of whatever you're experiencing right now. Allow it to be whatever it is. We'll bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads. I want to thank you for allowing me to assist in your yoga practice today. Know that wherever this life takes you, that you are seen, you are loved, and you are divine. Take care.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Maple Flavored Yoga.